Welcome back to the Rippy Effect. I'm Jackie Hunter, your host, and I'm at the Science Museum with Chuck English. He is the STEM coordinator for the state of Virginia. Previously, he worked as Director of Education at the Science Museum. Welcome, Mr. English.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
I'm so glad that you were able to do this.
Well, it's a great opportunity to talk about STEM.
That's wonderful. Thank you. One of the things that we do on our program is we encourage girls to seek. That's one thing we do. We encourage girls to seek careers in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And I know there are a lot of fun activities here at the Science Museum. They're fun and they're educational.
So definitely a lot of different things to see with your families here in terms of exhibits, but also a lot of programs where you can become involved, whether it be after-school programs or summer camps or special events that we have here for the whole family.
That sounds great. Now, does a person have to have membership in order to enjoy what's going on at the Science Museum?
Well, you can come here just admission-based, but there are opportunities for members, so if you do have a membership, there are different programs that you might be able to participate in.
Okay.
In fact, for our teens, we have an opportunity for young women that are between 13 and 18 to join our teen space, which is kind of a maker space called The Mix. And they get their own membership if they were to do that, and that's for free. So they can come take advantage of the museum and that space.
That sounds very interesting. Exactly, what is a maker space?
So this is an opportunity for people to kind of get access to tools that they may not otherwise have access to. An opportunity to learn a little bit more about some of the tools, the technology that they can use, and different ways to kind of, in some ways, come up with solutions to problems they may have, to be able to learn how to use different technologies in different ways. In our space, we've done everything from teach kids how to make simple banjos, but also turn it into an electric guitar. We've taught people basic robotics and how to do some programming, or even filming and using a green screen so that you can go from just using your phone to how do you up your skills in terms of taking quality video so you can submit that online.
So it sounds like it's a space where lots of different tools are already available.
Yeah.
And students, and how about adults?
So we actually kind of use a near-peer mentoring aspect. We get students from VCU and from some of the local community colleges that come in and share their experiences, to teach how to use the tools. So a lot of it is students helping other students in that space, but we also have the mentors there. And then a couple times a month, we actually have them teach classes or bring in some other experts to teach classes on some of the tools. So that way it's very much a student-led. It's what their interests are and what they're asking for in terms of the training. But it's also learning from their peers and seeing what it looks like to actually go through. It makes it more accessible for the youth that are part of the program. They see how they can tie into those careers, those interests, and that education themselves.
It sounds like it's a lot of fun.
Oh, it's definitely engaging.
Okay. Now, if someone wanted to become a member of the Science Museum, what do they do?
Well, there's a couple ways to go about doing that. For me, I'm very much a tactile person who likes to talk to someone face to face. So you can just come here to the front desk of the museum when you come and visit and talk to one of the representatives there. But you can also go online and get some information or call. And there are ways that you can fill out that information either way and be able to make sure that you can get a membership to the museum.
Okay.
That membership's good here as well as a lot of other museums that are part of a kind of a cooperative with the Science Museum.
I didn't realize that, such as the Children's Museum maybe?
Well, not the Children's Museum, but other science centers. So groups that are part of an organization called ASTEC, the Association of Science and Technology Centers, so other science museums. So the one where I grew up, just outside of Pittsburgh, I can go to Carnegie, for example, or to the Franklin Museum in Philadelphia. Or
I didn't realize that. That's great news. Okay. I know that you have something called the Teen Mix. Is it called Teen Mix for Teens? Is that it?
Well, it's called The Mix, and that's what I was talking about earlier for the teens that they can sign up and get their own membership. I mean, it's a great place for them to engage during the school year. It's open on Friday afternoons into the evening, Saturdays and Sundays, and during the summer from noon to 5, Monday through Friday. It's a place where they can come and hang out, just kind of with their friends, maybe get some homework help. They can mess around and play with some of the tools and resources that we have in that space. or at what I would call geeking out, which is an opportunity for them to actually take some of those classes and learn some of those skills and take it a little bit further.
Okay.
It's amazing some of the kids that have launched some of their own programs and their own little sort of innovation ideas. What can they do with it? Can they make their own commercial?
Mhm.
They even put on Facebook their own, here's what's happening in a mix this month.
So not only are they using science, they're also using the technology too. Okay,
Yep,
that's
and
great.
you're seeing a good plug-in for arts as well. It's one of the few sort of teen maker spaces. There are 28 that started in the country called Teen Learning Lab, but this one is over 50% women. So there's more female participation, and I think that's because we have really good mentors in that space that are showing how it works and how I can become engaged with it. And it's a little, they see the encouragement in that and the support in that. So it's kind of a fun space to see that part of the growth.
Exciting. What age group are you referring to when you say teens?
Anyone can sign up as soon as they turn 13, so we're
Okay.
hitting a lot of 8th graders that way,
Okay.
up until about 18. So when they graduate from high school, they have access to other tools and other resources
Right.
around.
Right.
So we're trying to keep it for teens that don't have access outside of that space, so kind of that 13 to 18 age group.
Okay. Now, if they came to the Science Museum, are they supposed to be with their parents, or can they come to the Science Museum and just work with the mentors?
They
How does
can-
that work?
Come and just work with the mentors. When they sign up, we ask that parents are part of that sign-up process, so we can kind of go over, here are the rules and expectations we
Great.
have for the members
That
of that
makes a lot of
space.
sense.
But we do have a lot of members that come here on their own afterwards then. It's amazing how many people take advantage of the public transportation here in Richmond and will come here on their own to be able to spend a day being able to build some of their own projects and be able to work on some of the things. Even over the holidays, to see people kind of design their own, what I really liked are the tacky holiday sweaters. Not only put in lights, but program the lights so that they will blink in different ways. We see people coming in for all kinds of projects.
Now, that sounds like a project that I might like to do.
It's fun.
Yes, that's great. So you told us a little bit about membership
Yeah.
and the programs that you have for teens. Now, also, I have heard that there are different awards for teens who have excel in science.
That's right. The Virginia Academy of Science and the Science Museum of Virginia have created the Virginia Outstanding Scientist Awards. And with that, there are a lot of scientists that win awards, but we're also encouraging and creating awards for youth. People that are really motivational to other kids to investigate science, learn more, kind of pique their curiosity. So what are people doing that are motivating? What are some of the great science things that are coming out from kids investigating? From the research that can be done that way, from kids that are creating programs, other STEM camps. We've given awards for people who have done their own research. It's amazing what is being done with the youth in Virginia, and this is a way to highlight it and kind of create that feeling that I can do that too. And that's really important to be able to see that and be able to see that their colleagues, their peers are also doing neat things. So it makes it tangible.
How does one get involved in a program like that?
So often we ask for nominations. We see if we can get something like that. So usually that will come through someone that's in my current role as the Virginia STEM coordinator. So they can send that information to me, and it gets kind of put into a pile that's I, as well as kind of a jury of my peers and colleagues, will kind of sit down and kind of go through who's applied, who was nominated, and kind of see what would kind of best fit.
Okay.
But of course, we're looking for those people that are motivational. So it's always great to be able to kind of say, look at this. And it's great to see the youth that we've had over the last couple of years that have won the awards, and some of the fantastic awards they're winning elsewhere too.
That sounds exciting. Is it possible for someone to nominate themselves?
It has been done, yes. But
Okay.
you know what? Sometimes we wouldn't hear. So
Uh-huh.
there's only so many of us that can go out there and do that. So
Right.
if someone is doing something that needs to be heard, by all means, let us know about that. And that's something that we'll still look into do. So there's nothing wrong with kind of tooting your own horn on that. Sometimes
I
you have to
agree.
be heard that
Sometimes
way.
you have to do that,
Yeah.
yes. And so are there forms or is there information about this on the website?
Not at the time. So we'll see if we can get something up, but I do know that if they email me and just look for the Virginia STEM coordinator or the Science Museum in general and flag it that is for outstanding scientists, that'll be sent to me. So that would be a good way of reaching out.
Well, thank you so much. You've given me a lot of good information, and my audience will appreciate all of this information too. And hopefully become members of the Science Museum.
That'd be fantastic. Hopefully we'll see some of them here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.